Ron Swanson, one of the greatest sitcom characters of all time.
You got to talk to him,
I did.
eh?
One of the greatest mustaches.
He's got a great stash.
Yes.
Yeah,
great
that's
stash.
absolutely true.
Parks and Rec is really where he sort of broke onto the scene, but he's a great actor. He won an Emmy for a single guest spot on the HBO series The Last of Us, that zombie show. He won it. Here's how good he is. He won an Emmy for an episode that basically has no zombies in it, just because the drama, the writing, his performance was so good. Now he is going toe-to-toe this weekend against a little actor named Tom Cruise. Nick Offerman, Chicago's own, going to be on the big screen in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And yesterday I was in New York over the weekend, catching up with some of the cast members of Mission Impossible. And the moment that I locked eyes with Nick Offerman, I was like, I got to get him over here. I got to talk to him because we got to talk Chicago. And the thing that we talk about is, it doesn't matter where in the world he goes. It's his theater training here. It's his growing up here. It's his adolescence here that is embedded in who he is and really had an impact on the success that he's had in his career.
You've played so many different characters. Would you say, is there a piece of Chicago that you carry in all the characters that you play?
Boy, that's a great question. There is a piece, but I think it's my work ethic and my good manners. I grew up in a little farm town called Manuka outside of Chicago, but then I started in Chicago theater, and that's a theater community. I think it's the best in the country, and it's not because there's an ulterior motive. You can't get rich or famous in Chicago theater, but you can make the best theater, and that requires dedication and patience and a work ethic. And so it's funny, then when I moved to LA, one of the first things I did was an episode of ER, and the casting director said, I really watch for the people coming from Chicago because you guys bust your ass, you can work all night, and you don't have an ego, and you give you guys a sandwich and you'll go all week.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
How is it that these celebrities in LA get younger as time goes on? He looks so good.
Well, one, being from Chicago, I think helps.
His hairline.
You don't age as well.
That Lake Michigan water. But I also think Nick Offerman is maybe one of those guys that's kind of had that older look his entire life. Almost equitable to like a Steve Martin. Like Steve Martin.
Oh yeah, he's looked 45 his entire life.
So I think because of that, maybe it just looks like you're not aging because you kind of started out looking older.
I have to pull up a side by side because when I tell you from Parks and Rec, he looked like he was 20 years older.
And also, I think the character of Ron Swanson was kind of this
grumpy
older,
old man.
grumpy character of authority, and I think just by nature of that character, it kind of gave Offerman maybe that vibe of. But yeah, whenever.
But even from The Office,
I know. Steve Carell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
You see him do an interview, you're like, who's this handsome fella?
Yeah.
And then you
He's
compare
aged
him
well.
to like The Office. What happened? Something in LA.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's like a magic.
Yeah, but a lot
a
of
lot of
these guys,
Hollywood
Offerman
tricks out
doesn't
there.
do a lot of LA. I mean, he stays here. I mean, you see him